Let's talk about some new products from Shellwe Makeup. I was sent all of these in PR, so thank you so much to Shellwe for sending these over to me. They revamped their highlighter palette, and also can we talk about this packaging? Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. I love the design on it. And then we have the Mist Witch palette. This one is so stunning. I love the theme, and I love this packaging artwork so much. They've also come out with 2 cheek muds, and I'm really excited to see them expand into other product categories. This is the shade Crush. It's a really beautiful, super vibrant, true red, and it feels so cool. It feels the way that the lip clays feel from Kaleidos. So here's what that one looks like. Just blending it out because you're going to be putting this on the cheeks. So if you really like red blush, this one is for you for sure. The other shade is Love Story. Love this one as well. It feels so cool. I cannot wait to put this on the cheeks. Here's what that one looks like. Here they are next to each other. So here's the inside of the highlighter palette. Oh my goodness, so sparkly. These feel super smooth. Oh, these are so sparkly. I am so excited. So this is the first shade, second shade, and then the last shade. This one has a little bit of a cast to it. I might not be able to wear that one, but these are so sparkly. Turn the light down a little bit. So shiny, super fine sparkles, and I love this kind of formula and of highlighter. Then the bottom 3 shades, they do feel like the same formula as above. Super sparkly. Oh yes, so shiny, gorgeous. Quite a variety of different colors. They also launched a mixing medium, so I'm very excited to try this one out. Love this color story. So it looks like there are 5 shimmers, and then one kind of maybe satin black. It looks like it has a little bit of a sparkle kind of sheen to it. Also, they do have a mini version of this palette, just like all their other palettes, in case you just wanted that one. I did rearrange it a little bit. I wanted kind of the purples at the top and then the rest of the shades on the bottom. All right, let's swatch the palette. Oh, this is such a beautiful kind of grayish light purple. And here's the shimmer. It is a little bit chunky. I can feel a little bit of a texture to it, but it does completely smooth out. So pretty. Another matte, really nice dark plum. And then this iridescent. Oh my goodness. It actually looks like it has a little bit of a yellow base to it. Very interesting. This beautiful matte. I love the tones in here. Oh, that is super pigmented. And then this shade also a little bit kind of almost textured, but it's smooth, but it feels like this could easily pick up a little too heavy. You gotta make sure you don't pick up too much. This shade has beautiful sparkles throughout it. And then the last true matte shadow here. And then the green. Oh my goodness. It looks like there's like silver in it. Very interesting. I'm so curious. This one feels a little bit kind of thicker to the touch as I'm swatching it. And then the blue, also a little bit waxier. Beautiful shade. And then last up, I'm so curious about this shade. I feel like I don't really see the sheen now that I have put my finger in there. Yep, so this one is a little bit almost like a cream to powder shade. Kind of reminds me of the first industrial palette from Izamaya, the way that one feels, but this one's a little bit stiffer. So let's get into the cheek application of one of the blushes, a little try on of the highlighter palette, as well as 2 looks with the eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to be using Love Story on my cheeks. And I'm going to be using the Cinch Beauty F01 brush. I feel like that might be nice for it. I'm not really sure because it is kind of moussey. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand, I think, and then pick it up with the brush. Because I don't know. Oh, that's very pigmented. Okay. I wonder if... I think maybe fingers might be best, which, you know, depending on the foundation you're wearing, might not really work, but this might be a finger kind of blush, which is totally fine, but I just didn't know what the best way of applying it was. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this powder puff. Has a little bit of my setting powder still on it. I just want to make sure I don't have too much on. I think that's really nice. I think that looks pretty nice. So I'm going to use the highlighter palette as well. And I'm going to use this center shade with the highlighter fan brush from Lethal Cosmetics. I feel like this is going to apply it very nicely. Oh, that's so pretty. It just kind of melts into the skin. I don't really see any sparkles sitting on top or anything, so it really just melted into my skin. I do see a lot of green, and then I just see it kind of shifting to pink, which is very interesting. I don't think I have a highlighter that goes from green to pink. Taking this shade right here first, and I'm just gonna put that into my crease. And I'm gonna leave this off, this area. Picking up this shade, and I'm just gonna put that onto the outer corner. And just a little bit underneath as well. And then I'm going to go back to this smaller brush. This is the Singe Beauty EO5. And I'm picking up this shade. And that's going to go right onto the outer portion. And then I'm just going to go back in and layer the other dark shade again. And just blend again out here. Picking up this shade, which is the one that had a ton of little sparkles throughout it, and I'm going to mist it a little bit with just some water, and that's going to go over the rest, all over the lid. I feel like that's not really spreading easily. It feels a little thick. I'm going to go in with my finger, and yeah, that's definitely a lot better. So I think I would use a glitter primer with this one if you really wanted it to be the next level sparkle. Here's the first finished look. Onto the second look, I'm using this shade. This is the Give Me Glow G720 brush, and I'm gonna create an eyeshadow wing with it. I'm just going to take it a little bit underneath the lower lash line just to connect. And then I'm not picking any more up, I'm just flicking out whatever is already laid down. Definitely is a bit creamy, so I'm a little curious how that would wear. Next, I'm taking this shade, same brush, and I'm just gonna smudge it into the wing. A little vampy. I am digging that, and then I'm gonna do that on the bottom of the wing as well. And I'm taking a pencil brush that's a little bit winged out, and I'm just gonna go over the edge of that just to blend without adding any more. So you can really see the red. And then I'm gonna take just a little bit more of the black just to bring it back in full opacity in just the closest area to my lash line. And then I picked up a little bit of setting powder. I'm just gonna use that to help further blend this. I'm also going to set this area right here, which is where I would get most creasing. I did prime with the P. Louise primer. And I'm going to be putting shimmer down in there. Taking a little bit of the Fairney Pixie Epoxy. I'm going to tap on it a little. And I picked up the super beautiful metallic kind of iridescent shade. And I'm just going to pop that all over this area right here. Oh, that's so stunning. Love. And also, see it layered over. Oh, so pretty. Here's the second finished look. So let's talk about some of these products. My 2 nails have popped off, so excuse that. But I still have yet to try the pigment mixing liquid, and I'm very excited to try that one. So I will keep you updated on that one. And then the blushes are really, really nice. They're super, super pigmented, and I think I need to just kind of figure out a way to, what is the best way to use them. I think the way I will be applying these is with a finger after kind of putting a little bit on the back of my hand. I feel like that's the best, but if you have any tips and tricks, let me know. But really, really intrigued by this formula. I do have a cream blush that is similar texture, a little less cream-like. It's actually a little bit more pressed in there, but it has the same texture, this air mousse feel, and that one is a little bit easier to use with a brush. And then the highlighter palette, I mean, I love this formula. These just melt into the skin, and these are definitely very, very beautiful and shiny, very shiny. So if you don't like a bit of, you know, seen from space highlighter, then this might not be for you, but this is definitely a favorite. I'm going to be reaching for this quite a lot. I do really enjoy this formula, and I'm glad that they redid it, because I did receive in PR the previous version of this, and some of the shades were better than others, so I'm glad that they revamped it with a new formula. And then onto the Mist Witch palette. I mean, the packaging, once again, I cannot wait to see what they do in 2024. I feel like if this is just a sign that it's going to be amazing, and I'm so excited to see them grow. Here's the back of the palette, just so, so beautiful. And of course, I love that these are removable pans. Now, their full-size palettes previously had square pans, so this is something new for them. So I'm curious to see if they will be coming out with any more of those quads, or if they will be sticking to the round pan format. So I'm going to first talk about the shimmer shades. There are a couple of different textures, I would say. I think these two are the most similar to each other, and then these two are most similar to each other, with this one being a little bit maybe closer in to these two shades. I think these two are pretty redundant in the palette. I think they're very, very similar, and I'm not really the biggest fan of the formulation of these. I do much prefer these shades over here. There's just something about these two, the way that they apply on the lid, especially specifically this one, especially, like, it just looks a little bit chunky, and this is very easy to put down too much, and it looks kind of accentuates skin texture because it is just a little bit thicker, and it almost is like, I don't want to say clumpy, but it's like everything just kind of together, and so it's a bit harder for me to use. I did just lotion my hands, so of course it's swatching better, but do you see, like, I don't think we needed both of these. I don't think they're different enough. Personally, love the shade so much. This is also really, really stunning, super high metallic kind of shimmer. And then this one's a little bit harder pressed. I think the formulation of this one is actually closer into this one now that I've touched them again. So I'm just going to swatch that one. I mean, this one is really nice as well, but the standout by far is this one right here. This shade, I think it's a good idea, and I'm curious to see if they add any more of this formula into future palettes. It is for sure somewhat of a cream to powder formula, so like in the industrial palettes from Izumaya, as well as the Natasha Denona cream to powder. It takes quite a bit of back and forth and building up, which might not necessarily be a bad thing. I think that makes this a bit more user-friendly in a sense, because you can kind of build it up versus you can't remove. And as for the mattes, I feel like, I don't know if it's just the nature of these shades, but I feel like the formula feels a little bit different from their other palettes, and that could partially be because these are round pans and those are square pans. So it could be a pressing thing, because I've heard from brands, I think it was like Menagerie Cosmetics as well as Cindy Grace, they've mentioned something about pressing in a round pan versus a square pan. So I do think they might have maybe altered these a little bit, but I just feel like they're bit more thin and a bit more powdery, and they work the best on a primer that has a little bit of attack to it, like the P. Louise base, the Glam Light base, etc. So I do think I noticed a bit of a difference, but let me know in the comments below if you picked this palette up and you tried it out. What do you think of the matte here? I would love to know if it's just me and I'm just imagining things and I think that the mattes are different, but they just feel a little slightly a little bit different in my experience, and I have tried, I believe, all of the previous palette. Really excited for this direction that they're going in. I know that they also just announced like a new palette that's going to be coming out, so looks like they have lots and lots of great ideas coming, and I can't wait to see them. So let me know in the comments below which look was your favorite, and if you picked any of these products up. I would love to hear your thoughts. And that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you next time.